Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Sorry there wasn't a video on Thursday. From now on, I'll just be doing one video a week just because it takes so long to edit and actually film when we've actually got a lot of other work to do as well at the minute. Today, we're going to be doing testing again. We've been having quite a few issues in the last week related to motor stuff. I did film a little bit for that, so I'll try to do some movie magic and put that in right now. So at the minute, we've got quite a major issue where the sensors and the motors can't run at the same time. After about a week of investigation, we're still not really sure what the cause is. The two possible things that it could be is there could be an EMF produced by the motors, that being electromagnetic force, which is then confusing the signal produced by the LiDAR and the gyro sensors and the temperature sensor, hence causing them all to crash. Or it could be an issue with the power supply, that there isn't enough current available for both the motors and the sensors to run at the same time. However, from running the motors and the sensors on separate power supplies, we get the same issue, so it shouldn't be the power supply. However, every time we seem to test it, changing one little thing here and there, but we're still getting the same issue. At the minute, it just seems very random. Sometimes it works in some configurations, sometimes it doesn't work. From what you can see here, we're just trying to adjust the height of the top plate with the sensors on to see whether that makes a difference, and at what distance the sensors stop working. Initially, this was successful. When we were moving the top plate further up, then that meant that the sensors were then working again, but from further testing, they stopped working. One of the other possible reasons why it might not be working is because something isn't grounded correctly. Therefore, hopefully with the introduction of the PCB, which will be manufactured this next week, then that will be solved. Although if it isn't, we're still stuck. So for today, we're just going to be able to test a few basic functions again, not the more complex functions as we're hoping at this point, but hopefully with the printing of the PCB, that will hopefully resolve quite a few of the issues that we're currently facing. So at the minute we're doing some of Nick's testing. So as part of his communication side of things, he's basically giving the coordinate that we need to move to. So currently he's testing with the open loop coordinate system and his system to see how well the robot moves to particular coordinates. Ideally we want to test this with a controller so that any slight errors produced from the angle or linear distance will easily be corrected. But at this stage, because the motors and sensors won't work together, we can only test the open loop system, where the sensors and motors don't need to work in parallel. So as you can see, the robot is moving to different coordinates as specified within the code, and it's automatically generating these, so it's scanning a particular area and then moving on to a different area to scan to see where there's a light source, and then to be constantly moving around to update the map of where the highest light source is. One of the initial simulations that was set up is seen here. This model's basically where the robots should be and where they're moving to, although there are 6 instead of 7 in the real world final case scenario, but that is the ideal case for what the output should be. One of the issues with the open loop coordinate system is that it can't correct for angle errors and linear distance errors, and hence now we're just going to try reducing the motor speeds down on the straight to see whether that has any impact on the results, to see whether that will improve the results given for these tests. In terms of the coordinate side of things, so from the last testing session, there were some improvements that need to be made in the code, such as a new zone identification algorithm to be able to determine which zone the robot was in at any particular point in time. Again, because the motors and sensors aren't working at the same time, we can only really test this to a certain limit. But again, while we've got these facilities available, it is important to try to test as many functions as we can. The outcome of this testing was okay. It still needs a bit of improvement, but again, hopefully, once we've got the motors and sensors working together, that'll make progress come a lot quicker. Right guys, so that's it for today's video. I'm actually in Dartmoor today, just exploring and getting away from uni. It's important sometimes to leave the stress of uni behind for a day and then explore the local area. As I said at the beginning of the video, there will only now be one video a week on Monday, but those videos will be epic, hopefully again. But anyway, that's it for now, so I'll just leave you with a few panning shots of Dartmoor.